Oh.
Huge.
Huge.
Wow. Wow, a lot of narrow backs in the room. I walked in and said, wow, his back's narrow.
That should be a shirt.
No.
Yeah, just wow, and a narrow back.
Yeah.
No. I'm not putting that on a shirt.
Yes.
Make backs wide again.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
How much would you charge for a shirt like that?
$100.
Listen, I'm gonna go to Cafe Press and have some made. Since Caleb won't do it.
Oh, dude. As I'm back in the chapter on Roosevelt's biography where he was out west, he was talking about the letters.
What a segue.
When his guys were in trouble. And, well, it was funny. Made me think of something else funny.
Makes sense.
He got a letter from one of his guys like, I'm writing you because I'm in trouble. I accidentally shot a lady in the eye, but I didn't mean to shoot her. I was aiming for my wife. Roosevelt simply responded with a letter that said, I draw the line at shooting ladies. Turns out it was his sister-in-law that he accidentally shot.
I mean, there's some occasions.
Yeah. I shot a lady in the eye, but it was an accident. I was aiming for my wife.
Easy thing to do, I guess.
We've all been there.
Yeah. I mean, who hasn't?
No glass houses and all.
I mean, I guess we're live.
Are these both left shoes?
Iron Palace Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Iron Palace Podcast, the world's most anabolic podcast that delivers more reps of knowledge than your last set of curls.
Nice.
Wow.
None of that knowledge comes from me, though. So,
It's pretty poetic.
ChatGPT, it's very good to me.
Ooh, we do like her.
All right, so to roll right into the guest introduction seamlessly without bringing it up, hit it, Alan. A professional strong woman, and don't let her height fool you. She will outlift you in every lift. From cabers to crowds, she turns them all while she's setting world records. Don't bother looking behind you because she's already ahead of you. Welcome to the throne room, Kira Wrixon.
That was the best introduction that I have ever had in my whole entire life.
Hey, now I will say that's kind of Caleb's bread and butter there.
It is the only part of the show I'm good at.
Except for the narrow backs.
Yeah.
Good God, I swear.
But that's more of a gift from God than a talent. You know what I mean? He's born with that.
Yeah.
You can't coach that.
I don't know that that's true. I think
Don't
you,
be so humble.
I think you almost literally can coach a narrow
Don't be so
back.
humble. Skinny back boys. I'm done. No more. No, I'm done. Rest of the podcast.
So soon.
We have a
We're
awesome guest right here.
And we're already off the rails.
Well, quit bringing attention
There
to
are
it.
there's way better people to talk to right now.
I feel like you're making a thing.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a world record holder.
Yeah, Caleb. Let's
Yeah.
focus
Right
up,
here.
dog.
Me.
Yeah.
I mean, just for people
You're the
that
host.
don't realize I think it's a world record, but a lot of people don't.
Well, some people don't think Thor's world record is a world
Fair
record.
point. It's a fair
Oh,
point.
touche.
know?
Speaking of Thor, did you see the prize pot that is going to be for the first person that pulls 501 kilograms on an elephant bar raw at the Arnold?
No.
Yeah, it's $100,000 prize pot
What?
to the first
Whoa.
person who pulls it. Yeah, they just announced it. Unless they recanted on it, they made a whole post that the first guy who pulls, well, they said person, but it's going to be guy. First person that pulls 501 kilograms raw on the elephant bar at Rogue Arnold will get $100,000 payout. It's like $101,000 or $100,000.
Wow.
That's insane. Good thing we're going to be at the Arnold.
Yeah.
I'm going to go pull it.
Caleb and I can do that.
We can do it. We've two-man deadlifted it.
Yeah.
An elephant bar for sure.
Well, we haven't tried an elephant bar, but a regular bar, we've done it. It's
Yeah.
no problem.
We've
Yeah, then you could definitely do it on an elephant bar.
Sounds like, I mean,
if we do it together, can we split?
I was just
We
about to say
each get
50 each.
I mean,
What's an elephant bar, and should we call PETA?
It's a bar that you beat elephants with.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's the only answer for that question.
Only answer.
That's the reason they're not at the circus anymore. You know, the
Yeah.
circus.
Hyenas eat elephant's butt first.
Okay.
Don't they? It's not just elephants. It's most of their animals, don't they?
Anything they can't get their teeth through the skin.
Yeah.
They go
That's
beehole
the
first.
that's the
Yeah.
softest tissue on
Yeah.
any animal.
Gets pretty hot in those rhinos too.
I learned that from Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a reverse
I have-
hyena.
But
He totally did.
an elephant bar is it's a deadlift bar, but it's extended long. It's longer,
Oh, that's it.
and pretty much it's
What do you mean that's it?
pretty much it's a really long
that's a-
deadlift bar, and it can hold. Like the sleeves on the ends are longer too.
Well, they just call it the longer bar.
It doesn't sound as cool.
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
Everybody introducing the longer bar.
The
That's
longer
kind of
bar.
dope. Elephant bar.
You
leads
should
to
come
new
out with your
questions.
own.
Well, there's also a mammoth bar.
Now that's more like it. Is it furry?
And
like
then
me?
what's it called? Kratos has or Cerberus has their version, which is the Kratos bar.
Yeah,
That's a
Which
much
is
cooler
very-
name, though. I will say that.
Kratos. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I heard elephant bar, the first thing I thought was some kind of like diameter, like girth, like fat. I wouldn't have thought it's just
Oh
longer.
yeah. You were thinking like an axle bar, kind of like fat grip deal.
Yeah. I think because the first one was a mammoth bar, right? And then they stopped making mammoth bars, so they spun off and made an elephant bar.
I'm gonna make a rhino bar.
An elephant bar would be a terrible place to get in a bar fight.
Yeah, it's a lot of elephants to get in a fight with.
Yeah.
So this is where we've came to for content.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kira.
Hey, this is the stuff. This is real conversation.
Inside scoop.
Well, Caleb did envision this as kind of like how the conversations you have while you're in the gym.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Then he invited a fool.
So I mean, this is a kind of a gym conversation.
So do you think maybe if we tell them we will 2-man pull it, they'll give us like 50,000?
I mean, we could ask.
I'll take less.
Yeah. We'll take
I mean, are you guys
negotiable.
going in like raw dogging it, like no straps, no?
Oh, yeah.
chest?
Oh yeah.
Because see, we did it for the USAWA. They have a 2-man deadlift, and theirs it has to be raw. No knee sleeves. All you can wear is a belt and use chalk.
Oh, okay.
So
So I mean, we could do
That's
it.
fun.
yeah.
I ain't scared.
You guys aren't the same height, though,
No,
right? So
and
Oh, we're
Very
aware.
fun to
It's
watch.
really weird. It's
that's what I was. So I was just gonna ask because in my brain, when you said a 2-man deadlift, I was like, oh man, like Kendra and I, because she has freakishly long arms. But like, man, the height difference, because we're literally a foot apart.
yeah.
That's
Holland
about
has-
us.
Holland has stopped imposing, and Caleb is still pulling.
Yeah.
like when we did it, I was locked out. I found the camera and like I smiled. Caleb is still mid pull.
Looks like he's dying.
And of course, that's the one.
19 years left.
Yeah, and of course, that's the picture that they print out and make this like 5x5 tapestry of on the wall at the gym. I was like, thanks,
His
guys.
head looks like a cherry tomato about to pop.
I was like,
I
y'all,
want to see.
y'all couldn't
this
have waited
picture.
2 more seconds for me to finish this lift.
It's actually 20 more seconds, but
It would have been, yeah.
College chewing gum, pointing at people in the front row.
It felt like an eternity because all I know is like everything's moving smooth. I was like, cool. Whoa. Because like Holland stopped moving. Now it's just me.
right. You lost that momentum on your one
Yep.
side.
Yeah, I'm posing for pictures. I'm like, I wonder if Caleb's going to be able to lock this out.
Hurry up, buddy. They're running out of film.
Like,
Caleb,
come
hurry
on,
up.
man.
He let go of one hand, started patting him on the back.
Yeah, you got this, brother.
We did try that. We tried to let go of like our inside hand.
Yeah,
That's a mistake.
that was not
Ooh.
working.
That was a mistake.
That doesn't sound great at
Yeah.
all.
Well, because we were like,
We
both-
thought how cool would it be to lift it and then like high five
Yeah.
in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
and so we were like, really, the inside hand's not doing anything, which is correct until around 800.
And then it's doing a lot.
Yeah,
And then it's doing a lot of it.
yeah. So we pulled that 800, started letting go. No.
Yeah, but whoops.
They settled for an Eskimo kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, I liked it better.
Caleb just came down and kissed the top of your head.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. That's our. Now I'm gonna take this clip and I'm gonna submit it to Rogue. For our pitch on why they should let us try it.
Yeah.
Do you know how many calendars they'd sell if they made calendars like that?
Now that's also what we're doing.
Yeah. Everybody stay tuned for an Iron Palace podcast calendar.
Everybody loves Holland's calendars anyway, so.
We should do album covers. Yeah. Recreate album covers. And then do like movie posters one year. We need to workshop this off podcast.
Okay.
Each year make a new collectible weird thing that you can collect.
Dave is really good at that. So my
Like when
icebreaker. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Whoa, no, I was eating ahead. Holy moly. Let's stay to the agenda. What would you have to say?
There is no agenda.
Caleb just interrupted a guest.
I have 1 point left, and that is just to fill space, so it is not important.
No, what I was gonna say was completely irrelevant. It was just going back to collector's items.
All I say is completely irrelevant, so you're welcome to say whatever.
Well, I was just like, because I pre-ordered the new Assassin's Creed: The Shadows to get the whole entire collector's edition box, and then I was just gonna say you guys should make fun collector's edition boxes once a year.
We should.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Thank you, Kira.
You're welcome.
So now we just got to think of those.
Yeah. We got to figure out.
The palace parcel
Like,
once a year.
do like mini thrones and like a scroll of Caleb kissing the top of your head during the deadlift, and like a bunch of little knickknacks in the box. I think
like
it'd be
it.
fun.
A plaster cast of my middle finger.
Yeah, like they're just like stuff like that, but like you don't know what you're gonna get. It's the collector's item.
I'll make I'll 3D print your hand, but like that one I did over
Yeah.
there that has a telescoping middle finger.
I want it to have like a fishing rod reel on the side though.
That'd be cool. I don't know if I can do that, but I mean, we can figure it out.
You take like 2 gears in there. I'll draw it out. I'm an engineer, dude.
I'll just put 2 gears in there.
You just need one that way. Turn another one that way.
What's your gear ratio? Like, what's that?
That should be a big deal.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. Machine Builder over here. Not all of us are as smart as you, Alan. This is why you get to make it now.
Or is good looking.
That's
That's
also
why
true.
you get to make it now.
Also true.
So, Kira.
Yeah.
Good podcast, Colin.
Yeah.
It's on fire.
I mean, I'm trying to interview a guest here.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead. No one's stopping you.
Grow up, Peter Pan.
Yeah, come on now.
Quiet.
So,
Kira.
yeah, well.
He didn't have to say anyways.
Yeah. We were talking about deadlifts and world records. You have one of those. What is it?
So I hold the 18-inch world record deadlift, and it's 850 pounds.
That's insane.
And I did it. But I did it at 64 kilograms, which is 140 pounds.
That's even more insane.
That's so crazy. I mean, like, you know, I don't care because you were like, well, I'm only so tall, so I have this. That's over 800 pounds that you.
Dude, it was so heavy.
That is crazy.
I was about to say, even if you were to set a rack pull that would be the equivalent pull length as yours, I still think a lot of people won't pull that.
Many people would not pull that.
So,
Well, I mean, I'm not good at math, but that's it's 5 times my body weight at that time, right?
quick, Dave, hit us with the math.
I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I left my abacus
Like-
at home.
I mean, like, I would want to go to gyms, and
It's almost 6 times.
It's 6 times my body weight.
I was almost there, Alan. Spoilers.
Like 10 pounds shy of 6 times.
He did that in his head. I know it.
Yeah, I did.
He did it in my
I
head.
like that he was like
Should have heard it, man.
in his head. 10 pounds shy of 6 times.
Yeah. And 30 minutes before that, I hit the world record for the circus dumbbell of my body weight.
That's
What was that?
I did the circus dumbbell world record for the 64 kilograms, which was 64 kilograms. So it was 140 pound circus dumbbell.
So
that's insane.
I've been in strongman competitions where we've had that weight, and I've seen guys, heavyweight guys, of course, heavyweight masters guys, no lift that several times.
I've not tried a circus dumbbell, but I'll about guarantee I will drop that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen
It's really awkward.
I've seen 300 pound dudes no lift that at competitions.
I would probably no lift
What else
that.
have you seen 300-pound dudes do?
You don't want to know.
Ooh.
That's Patreon only stuff.
And we don't have the time for him to list all of it.
Yeah, Holland's a gentle lover. It takes a while.
But yes, I mean, so it ended up being I lifted 990 pounds within like an hour and a half
That's nuts.
in 2 lifts.
That's insane.
1,000-pound club and 2 lifts.
Yeah. And like and what people didn't realize like is how much it actually fucked me up.
Mhm.
Like I'm 90% sure that it gave me a concussion. I have zero recollection of like 23 hours after that.
Really?
I guess I tried to break up with my boyfriend over the phone. I called my mom, made her drive from New York all the way to South Carolina because somebody had to be home with the dogs. Like, I don't remember the drive back. I don't even remember weigh-ins. Like, I don't have much like memory of it at all.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It took 6 weeks to get the whites of my eyes back because they went completely bloodshot. It bruised all of my eyes underneath, my chin, my whole neck, my chest. Like the pictures, I look like I got beat. My face immediately swelled up. It was a lot of pressure.
That's insane.
Man, yeah.
Because like the closest I have to that would be the 800 Denny lift. Nowhere near that. No,
You just got woozy.
I about passed out one time.
He was constipated the next day.
So I can't imagine bracing that hard. That
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the, like, I mean, because like you said, it's kind of like a rack pull. So it's literally, for me, all of the pressure was just my armpits up
That's nuts.
because I was just rowing it at
Yeah.
that point.
That's wild.
Yeah. But I was just thinking about we could take that video and go to gyms and be like, "Hey, dude, you think you can match this?" You know,
Pussy.
put a hundo on it. You know.
Yeah, I want to measure the range of motion.
Yeah.
And then set that up for everybody to be like, all right,
All right, here's 840. See if you can match that.
yeah, go for it. By the way, what do you do in the next 24 hours?
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
Take out the baby.
That's what one of the guys said I went to the New Year New PR last weekend in Jacksonville, and one of the amateur super heavyweight guys were like, "Man, like I should get a free shirt. I deadlifted 855 pounds," and everybody was like, "Tell him that you did like 5 pounds less."
Yeah, tell him.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah," I was like, that's cute, guy. You can go.
I'd have been like, "Cool story, bro. Have you
Yeah.
met Kira?"
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, and I'm 300 pounds less than you.
Yep. Well, it's like, what's the lift called that we did at the last USAWA?
The Dirty Dancing lift.
Not that one. Not the Hackenschmidt, but the why can't I remember? People's deadlift.
Yeah.
I was way off.
Lord, why couldn't I remember that?
I don't
What
know.
is that?
It's basically an 18-inch deadlift.
Yeah. It's just named after Bob Peoples.
Bob Peoples.
Okay.
And
That's why I wanted to do that stuff, because I feel like people wouldn't make fun of me for it. I could actually like do it and have a good time.
oh, you will 100% set a world record in that lift. But but I mean, me and Holland did that lift, and both of us failed 700.
Yeah.
So
It's a hard lift. Cause so for me, like I'm really good off the ground. All of my power comes off the ground on any deadlift. That's why I struggle in a suit. Like my raw deadlift, before I tore my hamstring, was actually heavier than my suited deadlift because I don't need the pop off the ground. It was my glutes and my hips that really hindered me from finishing. Until when we figured that problem out, it really changed. But so like learning that motion is really tough for me because I lose all my momentum.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So would you say a suit is beneficial for deadlifting or just a detriment, really? I
mean, it's a tool, right?
Mhm.
So if you know how to use the tool, it is super, super beneficial for you. And if you prep in the tool, like I wouldn't advise anybody to deadlift in a suit if you didn't deadlift in it at least 6 weeks beforehand. Like
see
you're
that.
not going to learn how to deadlift in the suit. Like you have to work the suit. And that's like a minimum. And depending on what kind of suit you get like that's what you get out of it. So I think it's a really cool tool, but I also think it's semi detrimental to the sport because I think people rely on it too much.
That's what I loved about the Shaw Classic was that it was raw deadlift.
Yeah.
Loved that.
I wish that they would do more of that. The
I
first
agree.
ever Strongman Corp Nationals that I competed in was a raw deadlift.
I think raw deadlift is the way to, especially whenever I forget who had said it. It was one of the interviews leading up to the Shaw Classic where they said that they wanted to do it because they don't want it to fall on who can afford the best suit, whose suit fits them the best, or something small like that. It just now everybody's level playing field, and I like that. I think that's what the sport really is.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, that it's a tool. And if you don't have time to be able to prep with that tool the right way, then everybody else that got to use that tool has such an advantage. And not an advantage in a bad way. Everybody had their own time frame. Everybody has access to the right things. But if you didn't order it in the right time frame, or if you didn't have the knowledge about it, then you're shit out of luck.
Yep.
You know, it's I was at the IPF equipped World Championships, and we were watching. I can't remember what weight class men it was, but they were squatting, and there were several 800 plus 900 pound squats in this group. Then they get to deadlift, and there weren't nearly as many comparable deadlifts. And Kent was asking me, he was like, "Why are their deadlifts so much weaker?" I was like, "Well, the suit helps more in the squat than it does in the deadlift."
Yeah, I won't make an argument for that.
And so they're getting a lot. They're getting a lot more help on in the squat, you know. But
I'm not shitting on any like geared or non-geared like, you know, it's everybody in their own league. You have a fair game to whatever you want to do. And like a lot of the things is like, I think it's super cool to see how far you can push yourself in those tools too, compare and having those two different numbers to compare to. Cause like I know the difference of when I pulled the 770 in prep for the 850 and I had my straps up, and then the following week I had to hit 750 again, but I had to hit it strapless. And I thought that my whole entire upper body was going to just rip off. Like it just allows you to brace off of it and use it as a tool. So it's cool though to see what it really helps with and what it doesn't.
Yep.
Speaking of the Shaw Classic, you competed in that.
I did, and I won.
So casual. I did, and I won.
Yeah.
I did, and I won.
Yeah.
I worked my ass off for that, though.
Yeah. I watched a lot of video of that. You were killing it.
And it's so funny because everybody says that, and this is not me. I'm not fishing for anything, but I have such a high standard for myself. And that was my first full show back in almost 2 years. And I wanted it to be flawless. And for me, it was not. Like I made some massive mistakes that I still think about almost every day when I go walk into my garage gym. But I mean, yeah, it went well. I won. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatevs.
But in all honesty, my original plan wasn't to compete in the 150s. I was going to be my first attempt at going open. But the way that registration changed, and the events on day 3, I knew that I was going to have to fight tooth and nail to make top 10 for day 2 and 3 going into the open, which is I knew if I stayed in the 150s and below, like I was going to make top 10 if both of my arms fell off. Like, and that's not being an asshole. I just knew my capabilities in those events. So I actually went to the 150s, but here we are.
And I won.
And a winner nonetheless. First show back in 2 years.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, and not a small show.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
pretty large scale show.
Yeah, bigger than the one
Yeah.
we put on for sure.
Okay, well that's
That's
not even comparable.
Well, I will have to say one thing. Like, I've competed at a lot of different cool opportunities and bigger platforms, and Shaw Classic was the best show that I've ever competed at when it came to what the athletes were provided in like the athlete area, the different communications that they had throughout the whole year, and then the judging was top notch. Like, it was, I can't even tell you, it was the most even judging for every weight class. And athletes were just treated like athletes, and the show ran so smooth, and like they just did a really great job.
yeah.
So it kind of spoiled me a little bit.
Well, it seems like Brian really, really cares and puts a lot of thought.
Yeah,
and
usually
everything.
like whenever
Yeah.
people do a lot of their like lead ups to their shows, I don't really pay much attention.
Yeah.
But watching Brian Shaw, just something about like his tenacity is just inspiring to watch.
Yeah.
Like how much he puts into a show, both like physically and monetarily, and just how much he thinks about each part of it, which I think also comes from him being a high level athlete.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, and he started really young too, so he
Yeah.
saw like where strongman was when it was like late night ESPN rollback time frame, and like where it is now for when he walked out and retired. So I think he really has the respect for the athletes that he sometimes maybe didn't get in some of those shows coming up, which I just really appreciated.
Oh, yeah, I think it showed even from like someone who wasn't an athlete there or even in that building that day. It definitely showed, which was awesome.
Yeah. And especially because it was an international show. So like you did have athletes coming from all over, and I have not heard a single negative thing from an athlete about it.
Yeah.
I think that speaks.
Yeah.
I think it speaks for itself. I mean,
because you go to competitions, you hear people gripe about
always.
stuff all
Always
the
a whine.
time.
Oh yeah.
yeah, always.
Oh man, that's the worst.
It's a barometric pressure in this room.
Yeah,
was
I
true
think,
and you know it.
honestly, the only thing that people I think would complain about is if you wanted to watch the Strongest Man on Earth, the SMO show, even if you were an athlete, you had to pay for a ticket. That was the only like bummer part.
Yeah.
But I was able because I asked because my flight got canceled and I had to switch everything. And I was supposed to fly out that night. So I got to watch like an hour of it, which was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was really great. And I probably won't compete at OSG again.
Yeah.
There's just really cool opportunities in other places right now
Oh yeah.
that give more of a and not a lateral movement, but more of a continual, gradual movement and where you want to go in the sport. Especially if we're gonna run our bodies into the ground about it, I want to do something with it and not just keep making lateral movements.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it makes
So-
sense.
So, what are you in prep for a show right now, or you just?
We're just in the off season right now. I won't be competing in the 64s anymore. Probably won't be competing in the 73 or 73s either. And I'm putting all of like my effort into getting bigger and stronger the correct way. So when I'm moving up weight classes, things don't explode.
Yeah.
Really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But right now it's just a lot of Highland games, to be honest with you.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And they are just so much fun, and the people that I get to throw with, and it's just a really great community. And then I can walk okay the next day, and I can even train the next day if I want to. It's just nice. It's a more fun way for me to be competitive, but also not have such a high expectation for myself either.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, we've talked about Highland Games a lot, in that it's one of the rare instances that you're in a competition and the people you're competing against will help you beat them.
Yeah.
You know, like
Even World Masters this year, it was the same way.
yeah.
I mean, it's the cream of the crop for the Masters groups, and it was people helping each other as
Yeah,
they went on. So
it's crazy. You don't experience that in other sports.
Yeah, and like I'm also, where's another sport that I will get the opportunity to throw with now an 8-time world champion like Adrian, and her be able to help me,
Yeah.
and her like being like, do you mind if I show you something? Like, shut up and just show me. Like, how dare you even ask me? Just fill me with all of this knowledge.
Yeah, for
But
real.
like I mean, the whole sport in general, everybody's just really cool about it.
Yep.
My wife always cracks up whenever we go to like a bigger game and there's a lot of like I think it's Floyd's Knobs, like people are walking by and I'm like, oh, that's so and so or that's so and so. She's like, who's that? I was like, what do you mean?
Well, that's like
How dare you?
Yeah.
that's like
Can't
that,
relate, Keela.
that's like that one backyard rebellion Spencer Tyler was
Oh, yeah.
throwing.
that was crazy.
And I was talking about it. I was like, man, Spencer Tyler was there, and they're like, who?
Yep.
Like,
I remember whenever he broke the world record for sheaf, I'm standing there going, oh my God, he's going to do it. And like my mom and everybody's like, what are you talking? I was like, are you serious? Watch.
yeah. Like, I was like,
People
you're-
don't get it though.
Yeah. I get it. Oh, it was that way for the stone lifting competition. I swear. I don't know why his name escapes me
Doug,
every single time.
Arthur, Dylan Hart,
Who was at that competition? You were there.
Sherlock Holmes, Will Ferrell,
what competition are we talking about?
Yeah,
The
what competition?
stone lifting competition.
Daniel Craig.
It was Chad Clark,
Oh,
Noel Roberts.
Oh, Frank Sharp, maybe.
No, Frank Sharp was there, but
Doug
stud.
Dimmadome.
Frank makes me mad.
Frank, yeah, he,
Makes me so mad.
He's so talented, but
Yes.
just looks like my gym teacher.
That's what I say.
yeah. We're like, talk about a sleeper build, you know?
Like, and I'm not saying that in a mean way,
no.
but like, man,
No,
yeah.
I freaking love Frank. Like whenever we showed
Had
up,
him on the podcast.
yeah. First impressions of Frank is like we show up. I've never met the dude, never seen the dude, and we show up for the stone lifting competition. He's like changing shirts every event, and I was like, try hard over here. And then we got talking to Frank. I was like, dude, how are you this strong? Like,
Yeah.
like this makes no sense. Like,
you know, he totally exploded his toe last Holiday Highlander.
Yes.
Oh,
Dropped a who's fell on it.
ooh,
yeah. The Possifel just.
Yeah, the
and it just-
Possifel, yeah.
The Possifel.
Yeah.
And just annihilated his toe.
Is that why we took the carry part out of it? We just held it this year?
I mean, so we don't want to do the same events every year, but we also didn't want to crush any toes again this year.
that's fair.
But that's so common. Like I don't even know what I was prepping for, but I had a block press and Willie just had me doing cleans from the floor to my lapping and an extension, and they were 225. I was not pressing it. We weren't doing anything crazy. And I came back down for my extension, put it in my lap, and I dropped it off on the crash pad, and it bounced off the crash pad, and the corner drilled my big toe.
Ooh.
And I was so scared to take my shoe off at the time because
Yeah.
it was just one of those noble canvas shoes. It wasn't anything that I should have been wearing. And I had to drill the top of my toenail like 2 days later
Yeah.
because of the amount of pressure. It was, and then what's his face? Gary Biceps. I can never pronounce his last name. He did the same thing, but they had to sew his toe back together. Because he like dropped it from the pressing position.
Like,
Oh man.
Yeah.
you know, I'm less likely to get my head out of the way than I am my feet. I'm
yeah.
gonna get my feet out of the way.
Yeah. Well, I wear steel toes now. I won't do any type of like a stone pressing or any kind of event without steel toes.
I should probably
I'm
do
so
that.
scared. Yeah.
Yep. It was Dr. Bill Crawford.
Oh yeah, Bill Crawford.
Oh,
Why-
Dr.
I
Bill.
freaking love that guy. And somehow every time I talk about him, I'll forget his name the second I go to say it.
I was gonna guess that.
I saw him last weekend.
Like
He was at the competition at the New Year, New PR.
I'd only met him the one time, and that was the first time I met him was at that competition. That was what, 2 years ago now, year and a half. Either way,
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
And I remember him walking out, and I went, "Oh God, he's here." And my girlfriend at the time was like, "Who?" I was like, What do you mean who? That's the man. Apparently, I was the weird one.
Yeah, yeah, because that was the first competition I did coming back from a bicep. Yep, and I had to go.
Man, how did that go with your tour bicep? How, like, mentally, your first competition back?
How did it go, Holland?
Well, I had to go first every event, and that sucked.
Could not have been worse.
That was terrible. Yeah,
There are very few times I've beaten Holland in a competition, and I did that day.
Smoked me.
I'm not proud of that win, but it was a win.
It's a solid win.
Hey, it's a win, nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, I still count it.
Yeah.
But that was just a sorry way to win.
But Caleb still has his gold medal from Special Olympics powerlifting.
Bro,
Oh, Igor was even upset with that one. You hear him yelling about it? Yeah. Sorry, this was that time frame that I told you my boyfriend was going to be home and they were going to cause a ruckus. So I apologize.
It's okay.
Again, we are very unprofessional.
Yeah,
we're very pro ruckus over here.
Yeah, pro ruckus.
pro ruckus.
Yeah.
Well, he is all ruckus all day. He is.
So is Dave.
That's the next shirt. All ruckus all day.
All ruckus all day.
But yeah, Caleb signed up. So
way to segue off what we were just talking about. I was making fun of you, Holland.
We were Power Partners is the organization that we coach Special Olympics athletes in, and they team Special Olympian with a able-bodied athlete, for a better word.
Okay.
And their scores, it's a team kind of deal. Well, Caleb signed up, and the registration got mixed up, and he was signed up as a Special Olympian.
I text Chip.
Fucking whoops.
I passed the Bob check.
I text Chip, and I said, "Hey, bro, I think I signed up under the wrong one. Can you check and find out?" And he said, "Yeah, you're good." I was like, "Okay, cool."
So
was not the right one.
He was right.
He might have thought it was the right one.
So Caleb wins the 125 kilogram class for Special Olympics,
which I thought was weird. When they're calling out the prizes, and for the 125 kilo, they called out another guy, and I was like, I beat this guy.
He was up there gloating.
Yeah. He was like, suck it.
Yeah.
And the worst part of it all is that's the first time I met Clint, by the way. And so I walk up, and they announced that my name, so I walk up to get it, and Chip goes, "You're not Special Olympic." And then Clint, the scorer, looks up and he goes, "You sure?"
He's over popping champagne.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." Like, I don't know how to answer this without being offensive to the room full of Special Olympic athletes. Like,
No, yeah, I would immediately start sweating. I would have had no idea.
One of the kids wanted him tested.
The bad thing is Caleb kept the medal.
I won it.
So some kid
I
ended
won
up.
it.
I won it fair and square, okay? Listen, even if it was in the 125, I still beat the guy that they said won, so it doesn't matter. I would have got it
That
either
thing
way.
on the mantle.
Yeah.
It's framed even.
That's amazing. That's the best story ever.
Yeah, especially because I've heard it 17 times.
It's pretty good.
They love telling everybody.
Yeah.
His mom
I
put
mean,
his
I
baby
would
book.
flaunt it. I wouldn't even give a backstory. I'm like, I won a Special
I
Olympics
know.
medal.
I'm hoping I get a movie made after me like Johnny Knoxville.
I was going to say, The Ringer 2.
But to go back to my bicep though.
Oh, thanks. Now that we've made fun of me, we can go back to your story. Quick side quest. Now we can go back.
Hey, I felt pretty comfortable with the one that they fixed. Just the way they go about it is, they drill a hole through the bone, pull the tendon through, tie off like a titanium button, and then the bone goes back around the tendon, and the button can't,
Oh, that makes sense.
And so the orthopedic, my question was, I wonder what kind of shape the other bicep tendon is in, because I didn't know anything was wrong with this one until it popped and rolled up into my shoulder, and But I was asking, and he thought I was asking about this. He was, oh, don't worry about it. He goes, that repair is better than it was, originally. It's better than what you're born with, the attachment. And I was like, oh, I feel comfortable with this
Better
one.
than the attachment you're born with. What kind of doctors you see in
But
I'm glad you got that check out before Trump got in office.
And Dave has left the station. Just go. Keep going.
yeah.
Keep going.
So I was like, no, I'm worried about, this other bicep. Is it hanging by a thread too? Like he goes, oh, I'm sure it's fine. So for the longest time, going back to like deadlifting heavy, stone lifting or whatever, I'm like, I wonder if this other bicep's about to pop,
Yeah.
But
Which arm do you hold backwards for reverse grip?
the one that was fixed, that's the one I hold backwards.
Anything to do with it?
I originally heard it shoeing a horse. I had a hold of his shoeing one of his back feet, and he jerked his foot up, and my elbow got hyperextended in between his leg, and that was the initial tear. I didn't know it tore then. I just knew my elbow hurt really bad, and I got a bunch of cortisone shots and just kept going, and then eventually it just kept deteriorating until it finally popped.
So, anyways, I beat Holland that day
He did beat me.
I still want to hear about your attachment.
because
I'll tell you later.
that was another Frank Sharp thing. Is Frank Sharp gave us all the tools and information we needed to do well that day.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
we listened to zero
None
of
of
them.
it.
Good.
And so Holland had to go first. We're doing the Jack Stone carry.
And those Jackstones, those rings
Yeah.
are like liquid fire.
I agree with
I
that.
wouldn't know. I didn't get to hold him long enough.
Yeah. So Frank said, the first two things he told us for tips on this, mind you, we knew he had the world record on this, and we still didn't listen.
Yeah.
Is he said, you want to pull your knee sleeves up because they're going to rub right on your legs. And I thought knee sleeves go on your knees. Why are they on your
Send
calves?
the name, Goob.
Silly Frank.
So he said, I wear them here because they'll rub here, and then you want to do short steps. Don't try to walk fast. And me and Holland were like, man, we got this.
Yeah. I picked him up, and I was like, man, these things are light. I was like, I can run with these.
He took two really big steps and then immediately,
Kaboom!
Those chains really swing on those.
straight to the ground. Like,
Yeah. Literally, like, I think my distance
fell and everything.
I think my distance was 7 feet.
Yeah.
I think I only hit 5, so you still beat me.
Yeah.
and then
I was there when Frank did the world record. That was the first time that I ever tried to walk with them. But because I had to walk in grass, when I went to go pick them up and I shuffled my steps, I just sunk into the mud, and that was
ooh.
that.
Yeah.
That was over.
Then it was my turn to go like a few people after that. And I was like, okay, now I know, take short steps. But I still didn't listen to that second thing that he told me about them rubbing on your legs.
Yeah.
So I did not put on my knee sleeves or anything. I just pulled my little thin socks up. And then I made it pretty far, but then by this, I've still got a scar from it where it like rubbed my calf completely raw. And
Yeah.
I had to set it down because it was hurting so bad on my
Yeah,
leg.
Cerberus made sleeves after that. They have like calf sleeves.
Oh, yeah. So after that, I was like, man, we really should have listened to Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one would know, though.
Yeah.
No one would know to do that on their first shot, meeting Frank. No one
Love
would have
Frank.
any idea.
Oh, he destroyed everybody at that competition.
Yeah.
It was insane.
And when Frank shows up, I go, you guys might as well just sit out.
yeah, and that's
Like,
no
I don't-
joke.
Yeah, you just stay home.
And what else happened?
I don't know. You beat
I don't
me.
know, think about it, but I have to pee really quick. Sorry.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, you think about it.
Yeah.
So you boys come here often?
So, got any dogs?
We're going to go die in Greenland for our country.
You want to throw out your icebreaker now?
What's the point now?
I don't know. It may be funny.
If you could do a real wrestling move on someone you couldn't stand, like legit, like, but it had to be like a WWF wrestling move, what wrestling move you choosing? Because, like, you know, the stunner's the obvious choice, but you would like fuck up your tailbones. Like in
Stunner's
real
not
life,
my
you don't
choice.
do that.
I'm gonna say
Like an RKO would be cool too, but I would kill myself. So that one's out.
like off the bat.
for
I know the move I want to do, but I don't think I would pick it because it just sounds bad.
What?
The jackhammer.
Oh, sweet chin music.
Tombstone.
It's a good one.
sweet chin. Tombstone, yeah.
I don't know,
I just
man.
I don't think that one's as effective.
You're driving their head into the mat.
Yeah, but you're also driving something else. You know?
What are you insinuating?
What?
Are you talking about Holland's attachment?
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah. What do you?
It's a detachment. Since he's talking about
Not that one.
What are you?
What did I walk into?
Oh,
There's literally never any, like, no one knows.
if you could perform a WWE wrestling move on somebody that you didn't like, what move would it be?
Is that what? I don't know the name. Because it would be their. Unfortunately, their crotch would be here, and I would be slamming their neck into
Tombstone.
the mat.
Tombstone.
Is
That
that?
was Alan's choice.
But see, she got
Yeah,
the
for sure.
unfortunate part is what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah, no, that's a
Oh,
bummer.
that's what you were getting at.
Yeah.
With the
yeah, you're attached.
some of us were trying to be
Yeah.
politically correct, Holland.
So that was one of my favorite things was when I fought, because I fought for 5 years. When I would get in someone's guard and they wrapped around, I was always strong enough that I could pick them all the way up and slam them back down on their backs. But if I could do that to someone's neck instead, that sounds a lot more fun.
Is it as
Doing it that
satisfying
way.
as it looks to
Yes.
slam somebody like that? I just always
It
picture
takes
it.
it takes every ounce of me, even when I have like a small child that's like playing funny games, and I'm just like, God, the amount of power that I would have to drill this child into the floor.
There's going to be one day that impulsive thought just gets through.
Kira's
That's why I
starting
don't
her.
have kids.
Kira's starting her babysitting service also. So
It's called From the Top Rope.
It's like a scared straight for toddlers.
Yeah. Because I mean, like you have to, like even Kendra's kid has been taller than me since she was like 11. So this has to be like some young kids.
But this kid was having seizures when you brought him to me, ma'am.
yeah,
Yeah, this was not my problem.
nothing
yeah.
I did.
You might want
No,
to go to a
that
doctor,
flat,
though.
yeah, that flat
Or
head
priest.
on the back, not my problem.
It runs in the family. Look at you.
Why is there a child? Why is my exact form of my child in your floor? That's been there. House is
Yeah.
built like that.
Why you didn't
Disciplinary.
Playtime. We fuck around, dog.
Yeah. Just teaching them life skills. They lost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They said, and I quote, "I'm about that," and I was like, "All right, bet."
Yeah. All right. Wow.
They said my favorite color was lame.
Yeah.
There must be repercussions.
She asked if there was an adult present because of my height.
I get that.
This little bitch tried to tell me Santa wasn't real.
Yeah.
Actually, I did have a guy, this random guy at work showed up, and I had a meeting. I've never met the dude, but we had a meeting, and I walked up,
Chris Hansen.
and I sat up to shake his hand, and dude was like 6 inches taller than me. I was like, "What's up, bro?" And then that was fine. We didn't bring it up because I'm not going to be that guy. And so then we walk out somewhere, and then one of our other guys who's really short walked over and he goes, "Man, Coop, I ain't never seen somebody taller than you." And before I can respond, that dude looks at me and goes, "Yeah, he's pretty short." And I was like, "Dude, I will whoop you right here. I swear I will." Like,
That's when you got to pull that move out.
I was like, "You deadlift 600? What's your stats, bro?"
I'm
much
medaled in
you-
Special Olympics, dog.
You want to see it? It's in my pocket.
I got a gold
Got my
medal.
medal.
I keep that gold medal on me, dude.
This ain't no middle of the mall shit, dog.
Just so happened to also be in the middle of the mall. But that's different.
We had that dude show up at the house for Highland game practice that was over 7 foot this year.
I wasn't there that day, so it doesn't count.
No, you never show up.
Because I don't have to.
But he was,
Dude, I show up on game day. That's all that matters.
he was probably about 450 too. He was huge.
I bet I still whoop him.
Huge.
Huge.
Say it with a Y. Huge.
That's
I don't
always
think he's
my
ever said H in his life.
that's always my first question when anybody says, "Yeah, they're like you but taller," or "like you but bigger." I'm like, "Think I can whoop them?"
Like you, a little more masculine.
Which is a trick question because I've never been in a fight in my life
Ever?
ever.
Not that
You don't have any siblings that
Oh,
like
I mean,
beat the
yeah,
shit
but-
out of you?
No, I'm the oldest, and all my
Oh.
siblings are like 6 inches shorter than me.
would-
More than that,
Oh.
almost a foot shorter than me.
My
Wow.
mom wouldn't let us fight. She'd beat us if we started fighting.
Like I've sparred with a few people, but I don't consider that a fight.
No, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but no, I just act big.
Well,
It has worked.
being 6'6" helps too.
He's 6'6", but he carries it 5'4".
What always do I'm in a grocery store. If I'm in a grocery store and someone really small walks by, I always ask like, is she my height or am I bigger? And if it's the answer, if I'm bigger, I immediately like try to like walk over and like puff up and be like, that's right, and then like walk away. It's the only time that I can like deploy my dominance in public.
I would whoop you like I'm 12.
Remember that, and then walk away. But she's like an 88-year-old Asian woman who's like 4'4".
I do that to small dudes at work that are tattletales. I make it a point to be like, no, we all know you're a punk. You're going to walk around me. I'll just walk right at him.
You learn when you get bullied when you're really young that that's what you have to do.
I was never bullied either.
Oh, well, it's probably because you're 6'6".
I was about to say,
How tall? Wait, so when was the like peak of your growth spurt? How old were you?
see, between eighth
Caleb
grade,
was 5'5" when he was born.
yeah, between 8th grade and my freshman year of high school, I went from like 5'6" to 6 foot,
Holy shit!
and then it was like 6 foot to 6'2". I was 6'4" my junior year, and then 6'6" when I graduated high school.
His mom was in labor for 24 hours. His feet were out at hour 2.
Yeah, just the rest of it had to just
Yeah.
conveyor belt out.
It was.
He was trying to pull himself out.
I remember when I enlisted in the Air Force between my junior and senior year, and they measured me at 6'4". And then when I graduated high school, and then I had to go back to MEPS before I went to basic, they measured me again, and they had to check everything because they thought they were wrong because they're like, no one grows 2 inches in a year.
You do.
But
what he doesn't say is he was 6'6", but he was 142.
190, thank you.
He was 142 pounds.
You were 190 though at
Yeah.
6'6".
Oh, it was not fun.
Oh, well, I went to go join the Marines when I was 19. I had to be between 98 and 108 pounds. And at that time, I was 140, 150. And there was no way that I was going to be
No.
that small.
They were like,
No.
No.
I don't know where they come up
So-
with those numbers. Like, that's just wild.
The BMI shit. Like, I still, if I go to the gynecologist, I get paperwork saying that I am morbidly obese.
me too.
So does
Every
Caleb.
single time. Yeah.
I guess the gynecologist, they're like, dude.
He said me too. And you're going to bypass
Me
that.
too.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I was already on Caleb, so does Caleb before he said me too.
He
The train
walked
was
himself into that.
The
Yeah,
train
I
had
was
already
gonna
left the
tell you.
station, though, man. You can't stop these things.
Yeah.
It's one direction, man.
The train doesn't have any brakes.
Yeah. It takes like a mile to stop those things. I've already shoving coal, dog.
The boiler
Furnaces
was
were burning,
stoked,
son.
dude.
Yeah.
He walked in front of the train. He walked right in front of it.
Yeah. Hey, didn't even notice the train was going that fast.
Ran me over right onto you.
I was twirling my mustache when I ran him over. Caleb at the gynecologist. Like the dude from Wacky Races with a dog that laughs like he smokes Virginia Slims.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, Caleb,
Yeah. Go ahead, Caleb.
how about you do some podcasting?
What you got?
I don't even know what we were talking
How
about
about
anymore.
how about you podcast a little?
Yeah.
So, got any dogs?
You didn't hear him earlier.
You know, talking about the height and weight requirements for the
segue.
military. Yeah. Chip,
I hate both of you.
Chip, who we coach with, he was in the Air Force and he was too short.
I told my mom that when she went to go through, and she claims to have been 5 foot, but ain't no way.
But what Chip did is Chip hung upside down from a pull-up bar for like 2 hours or something.
What?
And then seriously, this is what he did. And then he went straight across town and got measured, and his spine hadn't decompressed enough, and he was just tall enough. Like he had, like he'd given himself an extra like 3/4 of an inch for like 2 hours.
Happy Home's been broken up over less.
See, I'm trying to do the opposite, because if you live in South Carolina and you are 4'10", they consider you to be a legal midget. And I would get
Whoa,
handicap
hard M word.
plates, and I would have real great parking.
I would do that. 100%.
And I'm only like a half an inch away. The amount of like from yoke and doing different squats, like my spine is, I'm just getting shorter as we go.
I was about to say, if you just like go get measured after a heavy squat day, I think, you'll be there.
1,000,000%. Yeah.
Can you give us an M-word pass?
Why not?
Midget.
I think midget is better than little person. You just sound like a subhuman.
Do you guys see a couple weeks ago? RFK said that he was, freak shows and stuff. My mind moved really fast, but I swear they're connected.
Your mind or what you're talking about?
Both.
Okay, just go ahead. Just
he was talking about all the health crisis stuff, and he's like, a couple 100 years ago, you only saw fat people at the circus.
Well, it's like if you've seen that meme from like it's like the 1918 World's Fair, and it's like, come see the world's fattest man, and it's a dude that looks like half the people at Walmart. And like people paid money to see this guy back then.
Fair point.
So what you're telling us, there's an untapped market right now.
Yeah.
Put me in a tent in Chohowie Park come September.
I kind of feel like that's true if you look at any of the acts.
Yeah.
Bearded lady, go to Walmart.
Sword swallow, go to Walmart.
First of all, how dare you assume her gender?
Well, it's on the sign.
Yeah, it's literally like. And now we have one of those rare times that Holland helps me. Yeah. That was a great time.
Not into labels.
I understand that.
I miss whenever like strongman was an act. In the circus.
Yeah. It was a carnival show.
Now you just like my typical fear anyways, like if I do anything where I'm trying to be like, oh, look how strong I am, I already know there's probably somebody in like within 50 feet of me that could beat me in this. It's my first thought every single time.
I had a music teacher that always said, no matter how much you practice, there's always going to be an 8-year-old Asian kid that's better than you. Mm-hmm. It checks out. There's always somebody better.
Oh, somebody. I was about to say, there's an 8-year-old Asian kid that can outlift me.
I was like,
probably.
I was like, now, I don't like to toot my own horn very often, but I bet I could beat most 8-year-olds.
I'm pretty sure I can find a kid that's been funded by the Chinese government that can whoop your ass on.
That's why I said most. Yeah. I'm just saying you'd be hard pressed to find an 8-year-old.
Dude, I bet they're jacked outside that Wuhan lab. There's no telling what's in that water. Probably not fluoride.
So to get us away from getting canceled,
lame.
If you had to build a Mount Rushmore of strongman, who would be on it?
Oh man, terrible. So this is going to sound bad because I don't really know a lot of the female ones that came down. So it would for me, because growing up, I always used to watch it with my dad. Like, but do I remember a lot of their names? No. Can I describe them by person? For sure. But that's really tough because I've met a lot of them also, and because strongman has evolved so much as a sport, each generation, I believe, has their Mount Rushmore group, because it's like they never competed against each other. That's really hard. Yeah. Like that's when people talk about boxing, right? You always have to group in Tyson and Muhammad and all of these other guys, but they never actually got a chance at each other. So they are the greatest. But they were also, some of them were in different weight classes. So when you have the big guys, you'd have to put Thor up because of all of the records that he's broke.
Yeah, I agree.
And that he left and came back and is still super, super dominant. Man, I don't remember his name. This is going to be terrible.
Holland Millsaps.
What he has the deadlift quote.
John Paul Signason.
Yeah. He's gonna have to be one of them. You're gonna have to put Kaz up there because he's a showman.
Absolutely.
And what you touched back on, like strongman, I think a lot of people forget started as a circus side show, right? Like our job is to put on a performance.
Yep.
And if you can't be strong and put on a performance, I don't think you belong on the big stage. Like, you have to be a personality. So Kaz has to be up there. I mean, because of he won so many times, you have to put Shaw up, basically based off of that.
100%.
Shaw has to be there. Trying to think of, I mean, there's so many. How many slots do I get?
You may have
How big is this mountain?
Mount Rushmore's 4, isn't it?
Or is it 5?
Now I don't know. I'm very easily confused.
Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, Roosevelt. Right?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's just 4.
Okay, 4.
So was that 3 or 4? I don't remember.
Until they add
you
Joe
did it.
Biden.
That's 4. I nailed it. But I also like, you know what was really funny growing up was I always watched Gary.
Busey.
Hayes.
What was his? It was a very Polish last name. Yes. I watched him all the time, and like I firmly remember him winning, but everybody made such a big stink because he was caught for steroids.
Again, I have the same response that I have whenever they did this whole thing about the mountain being on steroids. Who thought he wasn't?
Well, first of all, it's fucking strongman. Who's not?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and I mean that from like no one should care.
Agreed.
right.
You're in a not tested sport, everybody has access to the same stuff.
Yep. That's like even Joe Rogan said, we go to strongman to see what is the strongest a human body is capable.
Yeah.
Like barring,
that is our job.
Yeah.
Well, if
is
guys
to push the limits.
Exactly.
If guys that jacked aren't admitting they're on steroids, how's The Rock going to make money saying he's natty all the time?
And that's wild because he's bigger than he's ever been.
Oh yeah.
And he's a million years old.
Yep. Him and Mike O'Hearn both.
He waited until he was in his 50s to get super swole.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh,
Yeah.
Dude, it's all hard work. You're a hater.
Because that's how genetics work. You go reverse with muscle mass for sure.
Haters in the building, dog.
Especially
I guess it did work for Cotney though.
well, but that's different though. Like you're talking about someone who didn't work out their entirety of their life. Like you're talking about The Rock, who has from day
Don't let
one.
him talk about you like that, dude. Beat his ass for the content.
Oh my lord.
It's getting hot in here, son.
Anyways,
You won't hit him.
You want to do it?
No balls.
The Rock.
Yeah.
he's on steroids.
And he's
that's
got
all.
puffy nipples. That's a giveaway.
Oh yeah, there's you know how many people have talked about his gyno?
And his head's gotten bigger.
He has just gotten massive.
Yeah.
Like he is like his neck
Yeah.
to his head. Like it's all huge.
But
Good for him.
He's
Good for him.
it's what's that test booster Turksteron or whatever.
Turkesterone or
Yeah, Turkesteron.
Bless you.
I've seen it advertised on Facebook, and I was like, "That's what he's on." That's
He uses the really cute TRT rub-on cream only on certain spots. That's where he goes
I bet his band-aids have Maui on them.
for sure.
I would.
I mean, I'd have Hey Hey. But
yeah. That's a fair point.
he probably
that was one of my chicken's names for a long time.
he probably
And then she died. All of my chickens died, actually, tragically.
Yeah, Caleb.
Her laugh when she said it's gonna die.
Don't deflect. You heartless bastard.
Caleb's a chicken hater.
He is known chicken hater.
Honestly, that's not a lie. I hate chickens.
They're the worst. They're so
Thank
mean.
you.
But
I've had
like
chickens. I
they
hate 'em.
also, I mean, I raw diet my dogs, and so eggs are big in my household.
Yeah,
How big?
Real big.
they're huge.
I have a whole entire egg drawer in my house, in my fridge.
We should make an ostrich omelet. I just thought about big eggs, dude.
Wonder how expensive to get an ostrich
I
egg.
don't know. I'm
would
going to
be.
find out.
I'd imagine a lot.
'Cause you could go to one of those weird meat stores. You can get like kangaroo and stuff, but could you get like an ostrich egg?
I don't know.
If you put in Caleb's address, it comes up as weird meat store. Actually, fun fact.
If you
Really?
yeah, Google Caleb's address later.
Weird meat store.
Wholesale ostrich eggs delivered.
I need to get
Delivered.
a building that's not at my house to do this, so that you guys stop coming to my house.
Wholesale ostrich products. Not a sponsor. SuperiorOstrich.com.
Superior ostrich.
Wholesale ostrich products, dog.
Not to be confused with
Hides, oil, feather, bones, no eggs. Whack. Never mind. You're dead to me, wholesale ostrich.
not to be confused with the inferior ostrich.
Everybody
You
sells
know a
ostrich meat,
YouTube
but not
channel
eggs.
that I have found? It's called like Danger TV, but it's the border patrol in the airport going to Australia. And the things that people have tried to smuggle into Australia is just and like their guidelines of what's not allowed to be brought in. It is pure entertainment.
I think I saw somewhere that I forget, it was obviously on TV that I saw it. But Canada uses beagles to keep people from smuggling different meats. Apparently, you can't just take meats into Canada. So their airports have beagles.
So that's with
that
Australia
sniff out
too. There's certain meats you can't bring like bark
wild.
in.
There's a lot of food products.
I know my beagle could find a sausage like that, dude. Put him to work.
What?
Yeah. Little monster. What do we got here?
But
Superior ostrich egg for eating. $80.
What else?
Woo.
What else would you use an ostrich egg for?
You don't want to know, dog.
$80.
I've seen some
Yeah,
independent
that's a
films.
big ass egg. So I guess that makes sense.
But
right?
like, I mean,
So
like
if we
how
win
many
that
omelets is-
two-man deadlift at the Arnold, we can definitely buy at least one.
It's a 6-pound egg,
6 pounds.
6 pounds?
almost 18 inches in circumference from end to end.
How thick is that shell? It has to be like robust.
Yeah.
You can't just like lightly crack it.
I don't know.
Well,
I've
way to
seen,
find
You have
out.
to have a sledgehammer.
I've seen them eat it. I've seen them eat it on
One
the
hand.
Flintstones. It didn't look that bad.
Yeah. Fred cracked it open really
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah. Do they deliver?
It looks like they do. But I don't know. They've also got emu eggs. Well, they got
That's
different
not as
sizes.
shocking.
Fresh ostrich eggs in large quantities, call for price. Super-sized bargain ostrich egg for eating, $80. Extra large bargain ostrich egg for eating is $65. They're smaller. Emu eggs are blue? What?
The excitement that was on his face when he read that.
It looks like one of those
Caleb's face
Japanese
is
century
so
eggs.
unentertained right now.
Caleb is hating life.
Haters
Yeah,
to build
he
them.
is just not happy.
This
about
guy's got a
this.
hard-boiled ostrich egg the size of his head.
Whenever Dave gets on a tangent like this, you have to let it ride out.
Did you see a plate of deviled eggs? Like, oh, man.
Bro, but talk about like being rough to be in the same room with the next day.
Yeah, that has to be terrible.
Yeah.
You know, because like, I mean, with me and deviled eggs, like, you know, like, would you like 4 scrambled eggs? Like, no, just give me 2. Would you like 24 deviled eggs? I'm like,
Yeah, absolutely.
for starts.
Give me
you know?
one
Yeah.
ostrich devil egg, medium rare. I'd take like a whole thing of mustard, dude. Here, deviled ostrich egg.
Stop it.
Oh, bro, we're on the cutting edge here. 2025 all rights reserved. They're current. Look at that. Those are blue ribbon winning ostrich eggs.
Blue ribbon.
That's amazing. What's a blue ribbon mean, Dave?
First place.
Yeah, first place, dog.
Wow.
They don't have a Special Olympics medal though.
Thanks. Great they don't.
I got you. Don't worry about it.
That's like,
Why'd y'all laugh so hard at that?
I don't know. That's like the other day, Brad was doing Brad's one of our Special Olympics athletes, and he's the reason that I was
Also, my partner on 2 of those medals, so we're the best.
okay.
Ostriches have
I
an
was
egg-laying
I was
season.
going to point out that he was my partner though on the 2-man deadlift when we beat you and your partner.
Bro,
Ooh.
look at the size of my partner. Christian is substantially smaller.
Dude, he teamed you up with the smallest guy there.
How much did you pull?
Just under 500.
That's what me and Alex pulled. And she's a
To be fair, whenever me and Christian got up there, I told them beforehand because Christian is not very stable. And so I know that if he doesn't pick it up, it's going right down. So I positioned him, and he's a very small person. Like, he's short, and he's not a very, just all around small.
Just a petite.
So I pushed him as far over as I could to where I'm pretty much just deadlifting this bar. And I know there's
Right.
no way we're getting over my deadlift. So we got up to just under 500, and I thought it was pretty good because I think Christian weighs. What does Christian weigh?
Chris. Yeah, he's probably 150 pounds.
That's what I was going to guess.
Sorry, we were looking at kittens.
That's fine.
They sell Siamese cats too. I hope they don't ship those.
The same place that sells ostrich
Yeah.
eggs sells
Yes.
Siamese cats.
Yeah, they're located in New
What a-
Mexico. apparently.
What a dual income household that is.
Yeah,
Deviled Siamese cat.
that's recession proof. Ostrich eggs and Siamese cats,
We could go through a lockdown and they'd be just fine all over again.
Yep.
and they've got blue eggs too, dude. That's wild.
So you and Christian were
Yeah.
deadlifting.
And how much does he weigh?
About
Still like 150 pounds,
about
right?
$150. Yeah.
You know, an ostrich egg weighs about hold on, I gotta look it back up.
About 6 pounds.
I gotta look it up.
I've had a lot going on since then, dog.
Christian is a little over 9 ostrich eggs heavy.
Yep.
The extra large ones, not the value ones.
Dang, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh,
You know, I bet it'd make a hell of a deviled egg.
Yeah. I bet it would too.
You like deviled eggs?
I love deviled eggs.
My God.
We're just trying to keep things moving, dog.
This is not moving. We're staying in the same spot. We're making a death spiral.
No.
I would
Yeah, but
call
who
it a
else
fun
talks
spiral.
about
Do
ostrich
not
eggs
throw
like
that at me.
this?
And don't lob it into the sun either.
How about we do
Hand it-
sponsors? Can we do our sponsors?
Yeah,
How
can
about
we do
some
our
podcasts?
ads? We have some ads.
Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do an ad right now. The Iron Palace Podcast wants to make an ad for your small business. We're trying to branch out. If we got any buddies that wants to advertise on the Iron Palace, holler at us. We'd like to make a commercial for you so we can start getting ourselves out there. You know what I mean? DM us, help you.
Or you want to go next?
What are you talking about? You go
Don't
ahead.
make it weird, Caleb.
I didn't even say anything.
All you could have
time
just
for
said,
ads.
You could have just said no, and I would have started mine. But
Just go ahead.
What are you talking about?
Don't make it a thing.
Just go ahead. I'm so sick of you two. I can't stand it.
Words hurt.
So, if you haven't used smelling salts before, you need to. And if you have and you haven't used Zone smelling salts, you need to go to Zone.
Speaking of which, can attest they hold up to time because I forgot mine at home yesterday and used the ones that have been sitting at the gym for I honestly don't know how long, and they are not powder at all, but still work great.
Yeah. Yeah, the Zone smelling salts keep forever. Almost. Forever.
Almost.
Yeah. Forever,
Dang
I guess,
near
is a
it.
little exaggeration, but yeah. Zone smelling salts, we have a promo code with them, TIPP, get a discount. They have different levels of intensity, and don't be a wuss, get the highest level.
Always.
And, yeah.
Keep away from open wounds.
Follow the directions.
Directions are for cowards.
Yeah.
Oh man, right there, huh?
Oh, yeah. Every podcast.
I was about to say that's his
Wow.
thing.
I smell it from here.
Yeah.
The lid's on it.
And they put it in the urn, but don't let that scare you. David,
What in the world?
you need, Kira, if you haven't, you need to go back and find our YouTube video of him the first time that he tried these.
It was the black ones though.
Guy.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
His
wasn't
hat,
that bad.
his hat wouldn't fit anymore. He said,
It was one thing I'm really
I
bad
saw
at.
God.
One thing I'm really bad at is going back and cutting our episodes up into shorts. I made for sure I did that one because that was probably the best thing we've ever done.
I had a 15-minute conversation with Kurt Cobain.
No, the first time I ever used salt, I didn't know to not put a brand new bottle right
Oh,
under
yeah.
my nose. And this was maybe 2 years ago. This was super recent. And I was out in the garage by myself trying to do axle deadlifts. And I was belted up, like we were ready to go. I took a sniff and the wind was completely knocked
Yeah.
out of me. I was gasping for air. I didn't have a lever belt at the time. So I was trying to get this prong collar off, like trying to attach myself to a rack laid down on the floor and just gasped for air
Can't relate.
until
I
the
was vaporized.
suffocating went away, and then I got my
That
belt
was-
undone.
Holland had gotten a brand new one, and
I
it
took
was ones.
screenshots,
It was
dude.
ones that are stronger than those, and we opened them on podcast, and we've used them for quite some time. I like to think I have a pretty decent tolerance. No.
Those will kick
I
you right in
whipped
the
you.
brain.
Oh, I
Those
couldn't
are trigger
breathe.
kickers,
I couldn't
son.
breathe at all for like 15 seconds. Like I swear, I thought the show was over.
Yeah, I was like, I thought that's what it feels like to suffocate for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I had zero air. After that, I took all of my stuff off. I left the weight on the bar, and I went back inside. I thought I'll train tomorrow. I quit.
I probably would have done that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quit the rest of the day. Even my dogs were like, "What is happening?"
So go to Zone Smelling Salts and have that same experience.
Yeah,
It's only that bad the first time. After that, you built up a tolerance. You're fine.
yeah.
All right, so another one is NutriFit. If you need pre-workout, you need pump caps, you need any kind of vitamin, protein, anything, go to NutriFit and use code CalebCDay. They are fantastic. If you don't like a high stem, or if you have to cut caffeine out at 3 p.m., then you can get a non-stem. So
Don't take that shit from him.
go check them out. I
Focus up, Caleb.
think that's it.
Yeah.
No stomp.
Caleb, do they have an array of all vitamins?
Not all vitamins. Most of them are like multivitamins, or like this one is Regenesis. It's for your organ support and inflammation.
Got like holly basil.
Okay.
So
Milk thistle,
Well, the
stuff
reason
like
I
that.
asked, I left. I didn't re-sign my supplement guy, my
NutriFit's
supplement
good.
company this time around. So I've just been looking to see at what other options are out there.
Their creatine is spot on. It's
Oh, their creatine's fantastic.
Yeah.
pre-workout's good. The Regenesis, I really like it. It's
The Bloodlust pump caps, pretty solid.
I bought these after that. I was like, after that day, I had to get them. And nothing is as fun
As
than,
explained
than having to explain what Carnage Bloodlust pump caps are
to like a 65-year-old lady. She
that
was like,
doesn't
"What-
lift.
What are those? And I was
Right.
like, it's and I felt so weird. Like it's Carnage Bloodlust pump caps, and she was looking like, what kind of?
Yeah, these are their what is it? Nitric oxide.
Yeah,
stuff.
they're like a vasodilator.
Very cool. Very cool. And so
Is that even English?
me and Holland took them before a competition, and that was our first time we tried them. And so we were making jokes like, "I'm breathing so good," and then she's like,
you
"It's
had
like,
that
what are
hair
you?"
down, didn't you?
I did. And she was like, "What? So what is that?" And I'm like, And then she said, "Have you tried oregano?" I said, "I don't use things I can't pronounce."
No, ma'am. I love Jesus.
But one
Oh,
more.
houseware. Man, I can't believe we almost forgot the houseware.
Oh man.
I didn't.
Oh, thank you, thank you, David. Yeah, go to houseware.com. They've got a lot of awesome gear, shirts, hoodies.
You keep saying
shorts.
gear, and every time I get excited, and then I remember, oh, wait a minute, no, it's gonna be July.
Different
I
gear.
mean, in clothing, yeah,
A little more legal gear.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Talk to Ross and them. I mean, they they might hook you up with something else. I don't know. But go to houseware.com, check them out, use code TIPP with them also, and get a discount. I think theirs is a 15% discount.
Heck yeah.
And they just had a massive new restock on their website
saw that.
last night.
Yes,
I saw
Yeah.
that.
So
I gotta get a
all
new-
of their stuff is back.
I've got to get a new thick shirt.
I might get
Me
I might
too.
actually get a thick shirt.
Oh, you need a narrow.
Can you wear? Can you wear a thick shirt?
So narrow, the T doesn't show, so it's just hit.
That's probably accurate also.
It says thick, but it's in really thin italics. Or thick, but it's in quotes.
Yeah,
Thick.
thick.
Go to
I'd get a
Etsy and
new
search
one
the Iron
too.
Palace. Get a T-shirt from us. Don't take that shit from him, dude. I
It
wouldn't able
says,
to do that
it
to you.
says thick, and then beside it, ish.
I can't believe you guys are picking on Caleb like this.
Yeah, so then go to Etsy, search Iron Palace Podcast, and you'll find our shirts that says now hiring 2 co-hosts.
What did I do?
Just have 2 empty chairs.
I'm switching
Yep.
sides again. Caleb, you got to narrow
Just 2
back.
empty thrones.
Yep.
Now hiring.
if you like these chairs, you can't have them, but you can come sit in them.
Yeah.
This could be you.
Not.
We're redoing our whole nerd room, and I might make me throne chairs for my gaming chair instead now.
They are surprisingly comfortable.
They are pretty cozy.
They just look really cool.
Whenever I made these, they were originally supposed to be our podiums for one of our competitions. So that I will say that's why this one's taller, but actually I knew I was going to sit in it, so that's why it's taller. But either way,
you made them, so
and it was the first one I made. But anyways, and so then after I made it, I even made the cushion, and I was
pleated and everything.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
Wow.
But then
crafty.
Then we sat in. After I sat in, I was like, "This might actually work as a podcast chair because these are pretty cozy."
Yeah, I really like him.
But the original room that we were podcasting in was about 4 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah.
But magic happened in that room.
There's a rug right here under us that I forget how big it is. It's like 9 by 10, I think, that didn't fit in that room.
Yeah, so
me and Holland shared a small love seat.
Yeah,
it's over there.
Man, that sounds like sweat.
It
was
sweat.
It was
yeah,
so
real
bad.
hot.
Because this rug
The equipment in there and
It was
bodies.
bad.
the rug covered the vent too, so there was no air coming in.
Yeah. Now I have to hide it, but there is a hole over there that's the shape of a vent because it got really hot.
You tried to cut a hole in the rug?
I did. It didn't work that well. It still got hot, especially because since we do a lot of strongman stuff, the majority of our guests aren't small people.
Well, and like every strongman that I've met, even if they aren't big, like they just run hot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I constantly sweat. Like my house stays at 62 right now.
Oh yeah.
That's where we're at.
Mine's 68, but that's just because it's mine and my wife's compromise.
That's fair. Sure. I have terrible windows, and I have to get my windows updated. And they come February 3rd to redo all of the windows in my house. FYI, don't do that because it's $23,000 to do that.
Lord.
Yeah. Welcome to we're in the wrong business.
You
Just
should be
go
able to rough
replace
that off, too,
windows.
though.
Oh, I agree.
You should be able to rough
Yeah.
that off too, though. Texas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then in South
Big
Carolina
brain
too,
over
there's
here.
some energy efficient thing that I can submit for.
Oh.
Just tack plywood over mine and be like, yeah, I used to have a window there. It's now a sheet of plywood.
I try to not
What
add.
if it wasn't 14 of my windows?
You just spray painted what the outside looked like.
Yeah,
on it.
I would.
Yeah. The window panes.
Yeah,
Looks
Yeah,
like a Bob
went
Ross
to-
painting.
a few extra.
You went to college for art stuff, so yeah, you can
Yeah,
paint
that's what
it.
I do.
Yeah. Just paint it.
Yeah,
Little artsy fella.
I just make it look like outside.
That's all you got to do, really.
Yeah,
No mistakes, only happy little accidents.
happy little accidents.
That should have been the quote for the day.
I'll quote your day.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
I made it.
Is that just because my last name's Day, or
You want to find out the hard way?
I think
Not
it's
really.
I think it's the butterfly knife is
Yeah,
giving him a
dude.
little
It's got
extra.
my test
Yeah,
through the
it's
roof
really
right now, dog. Say it again.
yeah, Dave's
Once I
aggression.
learn how this thing works, dude,
Dave's aggression makes me uncomfortable most of the time.
it's not the only thing that makes me uncomfortable. He also doesn't care for a light smooch.
Ooh.
Now I know he's lying. 'Cause that's just not true.
Caleb actually loves a light smooth.
Yeah,
Those are tears of joy.
I don't cry often, but when Dave gives me a light smooch,
There's 2 times he's cried in his life. Once after a light smooch from Dave. 2, the end of Titanic.
I mean, he nailed
You
it.
don't cry at the end of Titanic, then you're
When
just a
Celine
monster.
Dion starts hitting
Yeah.
that flute, son, not a dry eye in the house.
It's true. That and Fox and the Hound, buddies,
She's almost as good as Lizzo.
breaks you down like a double barrel shotgun every time.
Man. Old Yeller is what gets me.
Yeah, that was
Or
rough.
has anybody watched Where the Red Fern Grows?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Days of
had-
Thunder makes me real
We
sad.
had to read the book and then watch the movie. I was like, you guys are
Yeah.
making me experience this twice.
Like I don't like to watch movies that make me cry, and like
I don't
so
either.
so I will watch like that. Like I watch Where the Red Fern Grows once, you know.
I thought you were going to say, I watch it to make me feel
Yeah.
something.
And I'm like, I'm not going to watch it again. I'm like that movie
So I know
made me
I'm
cry.
alive.
I'm not going to watch it again. You know.
No,
Yeah,
if it
but-
made me cry, I'll never watch that movie.
Oh,
again.
I agree. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's it. Like Up I've watched Up one time.
But once.
Once. I will not watch
And I
it
was
again.
28 when I watched it. It took me years to watch it after it came out.
I
was-
was Onward. That's another tearjerker.
Oh yeah. Oh, that
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
finish it.
Fantastic, but it's a tearjerker.
it does not end the way you think, and then, man,
Ooh,
it'll
can't
get you.
watch it.
It's a good one. You should watch it. Like it's based on like Dungeons and Dragons world. And these kids are going to go try to meet their dad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a great movie, fantastic movie.
I
However,
remember during Up though. So my girlfriend and I went to go see it. We brought her younger brother and sister. We're sitting there, and like I'm really trying to like hold this in. You know,
It was like SpongeBob.
like you know they're doing the montage with dude's wife and stuff, and I was just like. And I looked over, and this dude sitting beside me with his little girl, and he is just bawling. And I was like, I know.
so you and him are hugging each other.
Ollie turned to his girlfriend and said, "I don't know you that well, but I love you."
And he and I just ugly cried.
What's his name?
You guys exchange numbers after.
Yeah,
They
they
held
held
hands in the
Ugly
popcorn
together.
bucket.
So you didn't even get the guy's information after that?
No.
Slowly lifted the armrest divider.
Hands him some popcorn.
Sad movie, buddy.
He grabbed his Coke and moved to the other Coke.
I moved it in between me and my girlfriend.
Here, honey, we hold this.
He needs me more than you right now.
We need to comfort each other.
Holy cow.
That's like what with the Good Dinosaur. Has anybody seen that?
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Terrible. And I cried the first time I watched it. My nephew was sitting there. He's like, "Why are you crying?" I was like, "Why are you not crying?"
Yeah. Are you human?
What's
Like,
wrong with
Yeah.
you?
At least once a week, I think about Hodor dying and I cry. Like,
Oh.
bug tears.
That was a rough one.
Man,
Just hold
that
the
was
damn
tough.
door. Sheesh.
Especially because
That was the only one that bothered me in Game of Thrones.
I was about to say, 'cause
Yep.
especially with Game of Thrones, like with so many characters dying off at random times, like Hodor made it so long. So you're
Yeah.
like, dude, like you
I
had to,
was
My boy Hodor was
wrecked.
going to
Yeah.
make
yeah,
it. No.
Yeah.
dude, like you thought he's going to make it, and then that gave you so much time to build an attachment.
Top tier Game of Thrones hog, too. There was a lot of hogs in Game of Thrones, but that one sticks out the most. Figuratively and literally, probably. Now we know why they call it the God's Wood. Just me, huh?
We're calling it. That's it.
Is that time?
That's time. We've been past time, but it's been great. So just let it go.
But that's the one, huh?
That's
it.
the moment you know that if you don't cut Dave off now,
Really bad.
it is only downhill from
Only
here.
gonna get better. Yep, for sure.
So, well, thanks for coming on.
You were thanking it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I had a wonderful time.
I'm glad we had a great time. Hopefully, Dave didn't scare you off, so you'll come back sometime.
Yeah. Well, do you guys ever do stuff like on the road?
Not
Like,
yet.
If you go to the Arnold and
That's
do
the plan.
something.
That's the plan. We are going to go to the Arnold. We haven't figured out what we're doing there, but actually that's not a bad idea. We do have an Airbnb
Yeah.
that we could just pack up and record. Thanks for the idea. This has been so
Well,
helpful.
I will be out at the Arnold. So if you want to do a follow up,
Oh yeah.
fun. If not,
I mean,
doesn't
I-
hurt my feelings.
I can
I
make a
don't
day
think-
trip for that.
I don't think we've ever had a more helpful guest.
That's been great. I vote. Here's what we do. So we'll have Kira on, and then we'll walk around for the other 2 days that we're there, and just start asking random people. You want to come back to our Airbnb?
You should see what kind of person you can get
Yeah.
though, and just
We got
throw some
cameras and
random
microphones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cameras,
you know
microphones.
you'll find some people
A small
that
black
you don't
couch.
even have to. You'd be like, you just wear your podcast shirt and go around and be like, hey. Do you want to go back to this Airbnb at this time? We're going to do a podcast. It's about strength. And I bet you could find some real fun, weird people.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think we're going to have to do it.
Yep.
Dave, I know I told you don't have to go to the Arnold, but I think I'm changing my
You
answer.
almost have to go now.
Maybe you can go. You don't have to go to the Arnold, but you've got to at least be at the Airbnb, so you could hang
Yeah.
out there. We'll be down the road.
I'll come down for sure.
But you can't fanboy and just walk off, though.
There is literally no guarantee of that.
That's why I gotta go. So when Caleb doesn't want to talk to anybody or just goes, "Hey, you're really cool," I can be like, "I don't know who this guy is. I'll talk to him."
That's also the fun time of the Arnold is the last time I went to the Arnold, I found out that people that I deem as famous, I apparently cannot talk to.
No, they're always behind ropes and like above.
No.
No, it's because he's shy.
No, I
He
mean, like,
Oh,
he can't articulate it.
clam up.
I normally have zero problems talking to anybody, but for some reason, can't talk to those people, especially whenever they make a first comment that throws me off, like Dr. Mike Israetel. I blame him personally.
Oh yeah,
Because
He's so smart.
that guy.
oh yeah, I love Dr. Mike Israetel.
Oh
but
yeah, and that jerk had to be so polite.
I walked up, and he was the first booth that we'd went to. So I walked over to get a picture, and he said, and before I said anything, I could introduce myself. I said 0 words, and the first thing he said is, "Dad." Game over. I'm already thrown off.
Oh, he got you real frazzled, didn't he?
Oh yeah. So then my next thing was, no.
Did he laugh?
And then
Did
I
he
followed
snicker
that.
at that.
Oh yeah. And then I followed it with, I watch all your videos. And then it only got worse when he said, I watch all your videos. And I went, I hope not.
You're gonna make a video about me eventually.
Yeah. And then he said, they're out there. I was like, no. He said, yep, check Pornhub. I was like, what?
How red were you?
Very.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the next phrase I said was, can I get a picture? And then I got a picture with him and Jared Feather. And then it just only got worse from there.
What did you say to Thor?
Yeah, that was fun. As a tall person, I know the thing I dislike the most is whenever people, if you ask me how tall I am or make a funny joke, that doesn't bother me. But whenever it's just you're tall, let's be original.
What do you like when people say to me like, "Wow, you're really short"? Like, yeah, no shit. Like
Yeah,
I've
thanks.
also heard every single short joke
Yeah,
under the sun. So like, if you can't pull something out that I haven't heard before, just keep it to yourself.
exactly. So I broke that cardinal sin whenever I met Thor.
Oh, you said you're tall.
Oh, just about. I walked up and said, not used to seeing people taller than me. And just the look he gave me, I know the look because I've given that look. And he just went. I was like, hey.
Nice.
Love
Hey,
you.
at least it went better with Jerry Pritchard.
Oh, yeah, that went way better.
Mitchell Hooper, too. You walked off from him when he was talking to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Did that too.
All right, it might be worth going.
We're trying to get Mitch Hooper on the podcast.
Mitch Hooper walks off the stage after winning the Arnold. And we're standing at the Highland Games section, and I look over, and there he is. And I was like, Mitch Hooper, I got to go.
Right.
So we walk over, and again, he was getting pictures with other people, so I'm trying to build up my courage. And then I walk over, and I was like, can I get a picture? He's like, yeah, man, what's going on? I was like, nothing. So when we get a picture, I say, thanks. And then I just walk off. He was standing there for conversation. I just left. And then I met Jerry Pritchett on accident because we're walking through the lobby to leave. And he just like probably 10 feet from me. He just walks out the door next to me. And Alan has been taking pictures of me all day. So like we rotate, like, okay, I'll take your picture. You can take mine. Like, so we're not doing the awkward selfie thing.
Right.
And so Alan is like right next to me, but now I just like freeze frame, just stop.
Hey, Jerry.
And I look at him for a second to make sure this is who I think it is. And I went, hey, Jerry. Like I've known this guy.
Like, hey, Jerry,
Yeah,
what's
just,
up?
hey, Jerry. And he looks over.
How the parents?
And he looked over and he goes, hey, what's up, man? I was like, can I get a picture? And he's like, yeah, man. I was like, okay. And no point do I yell at Alan, hey, here's Jerry Pritchett. So Alan just keeps walking. And so, again, I just put my arm over and, what an idiot. And then he's like,
Yeah, but at least you have 19 feet long arms that you can
true.
take like a real
That is true.
picture with.
I
Jerry
take,
starts to talk
Yeah.
to him, and he just walks off.
yeah. Jerry looks at me like was going to stand there for conversation. I don't think I shook his hand. I really don't remember. I think I blacked out. So I looked at Jerry like, thanks. All right, see ya. And then,
Oh, you just left?
just left. Walked out of the convention center, left.
I've only had one experience with that once, and I was so. Does anybody? I mean, everybody knows who Flex Lewis is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was always in love with his little brother, Luke Lewis,
Okay.
And it was the first time that I ever went to the Music City Muscle thing, and that it was in Tennessee, and they had set up a booth there, and Flex was there, and so was his brother. And I was married at the time, and my ex-husband knew that I was in love with him. And so we walked up to the table, and he's like, "Hey, can my wife get a picture with you?" And Flex was like, "Oh yeah, sure." He's like, "Not you, your brother." And I was hiding behind my ex-husband, and I poked out, and I was like, I can't ask you. And then I finally got a picture with him, and I have it in my phone still. Yeah, so there's not many people that I would do that for, but he was definitely one of them.
I didn't think there was that many people either, but it was everyone. Even
It was everyone.
Even Lean Beef Patty was there. And
I don't even know who that is.
She's on TikTok. I think she's on YouTube. Either way.
Yeah.
And so she was walking by, and I was smacked Ellen on the arm. I was like, "Hey." And she was with, I always forget his name. I don't know his actual name. I just know his TikTok name. And I think now it's Professional Wheat Guy or something.
Travis Law?
No.
Oh.
But, and I walk over again, I take a picture, and I was like, "Thanks." And the guy goes, "I like your tattoo." I was like, "Thanks."
You're so good with getting compliments.
Oh, I'm fantastic. And
He's
then
he's better at getting harassment.
Yeah. So then I just walk off
Oh,
again.
I'm the same way. You can't compliment me in person. I'll panic. I'd rather you call me trash. I'd be like, "No, for sure."
Yeah, I think that might be me. It was like that the whole time.
You can't do that if I go, because as soon as you turn around, I'm just going to go, "Hey, my friend thinks you're cute."
You're going to do that no matter what.
It's such a good icebreaker, though.
Oh, yeah. What was I said to, I forgot his name now. Martin's Lacey's. Well, he was at the SBD tent, and I walked up, and I was wearing Robert Oberst's "Deadlifting's Not a Crime" shirt.
Oh.
And so I walk up, I get the picture with Martinez. He goes, "Oh, I like your shirt," and I was like, "I like your shirt."
Want to trade?
Just grab my phone and walk off with my head down.
And you think about it 19 times while you're in the shower.
I still think about it to this day.
Yeah.
He talks about it while he's in the shower.
Yeah. Dave's usually on the toilet while I'm in the shower.
Geez, dude, quit hogging the head and shoulders. Let's move.
But yeah, it's a great time. So that's what we're going to do at the Arnold now.
Yeah.
I think it's a good plan.
I think it's a great
A
plan.
lot of people do it.
You've got a redemption tour coming up, so
That's it.
Caleb's redemption tour.
Oh.
I'm coming back, boys.
Yeah.
awkward.
You better get a good shirt.
Better.
What shirt are you going to wear
Oh, no.
when you go around meeting everybody?
It says, "Don't talk to me, I'm shy."
It's going to say, "Can I get a picture?"
We're gonna make a thick-ish shirt for him.
Thick-ish, yeah.
I'm going to get a shirt that has double birds for both y'all.
That's not very nice.
My mom will not approve.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, is this where y'all want to be when Jesus comes back?
Make fun of little Joe Dirt.
All right.
Okay.
So we have a plan for the Arnold.
Yes.
Everybody tune in. Kira will be back, so you can listen to her talk instead of us.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But anyways, thanks for coming on. It's been amazing.
Yep.
Thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Everybody got anything else to add?
I think not.
Who? What?
Huh?
Where?
I don't have a quote for today, so we're just going to end this with anything, really.
What did you say should have been the quote for today? We said it earlier. What was it?
I said that?
Yeah, we did. We totally
yeah.
did say
Yeah.
there was a quote for today.
Yeah, what was it?
We had one last week, too.
Who were we talking about?
Man.
Do you not remember this, Caleb? It happened
Bro,
just a few minutes
How
ago.
many times have we had this conversation? No, I don't remember this.
To roll tape and remember what the quote was. Just cut it from the beginning and put it back at the end.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Hit it, Alan.
No mistakes, only happy little accidents.
Happy little accidents.
That should have been the quote for the day.
I'll quote your day.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.